Hey, how's it going, everyone? Good day today. Um, Today is Thursday. We have a four-game slate today. Pretty condensed, so everybody, mostly everybody's in play. Anything can happen. It's gonna be a dog fight. Um, First thing I want to do today is give a shout out to one of the members in our group. He had a wonderful night. Um, An absolute wonderful night. Here he is right here. Michael. He says, root for me hard, guys. 30 out of first. I need 11 from Clay. In the second half, the pass ups from Curry lineups. 50K up top. Hope Charlotte can keep this game semi-close. And then his next post, there's a little humor right here from Adam. From Adam, he says, I'm dropping a 50 burger tonight. JaVale McGee. And then here you go. Michael again, he updated his lineup. He says up here, he says he got it. So big ups to Michael, man. He hit for 50K, and that's what I like to see. Um, that's a very, very, very awesome situation to be in. uh, I mean, that's great, man. What can you say? Big ups to him. He deserves it. Anybody who puts in the work or anybody who plays deserve it. And one day, our day will come. Now, I can go through. We had 12 games on tap yesterday, and it was just madness, man. After I looked at the slate, I figured, like, you know what? It isn't too bad though. I did something that I know that I rarely never do. Um, Matter of fact, I'll go over my lineups. I did one lineup like I always do. If you watch me every day, I do one lineup on Fanduel just to check the waters. A very cheap lineup, and this is the lineup that I went with: Mike Conley, Jeff Teague, Norman Powell, Klay Thompson, um, Harrison Barnes, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Zach Randolph, and Jonas Valanciunas. Just a few bad performances overall, and I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you're gonna lose. It doesn't, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Um, on DraftKings, I felt the need that I just had to. I felt like running a few multiple lineups over here. I didn't play any cash. I just threw in some darts into the 400K 4-point play. I just threw in some darts and tried to hit. And this one here got very close. I was probably about 20, a little over 20 points shy of first place. I had I fell in 58th place. Brandon Jennings, Caldwell Pope, Gordon Hayward, um, Ilyasova, Rudy Gobert, um, Stephen Curry, Shannon Fry, and Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was probably the culprit. I could have easily pivoted to someone else, but that's how it is. That's after talk. Um, this lineup won like 300. So uh, anyway, that's that. Like I said, I did play probably about 5 or 6 lineups into that. I just felt like it was so many options, and things like that that I could have I could have did a little better just by throwing in some darts, and it actually paid off. That was my first time, like probably my second time playing multiples on DraftKings. So we have a 4-game slate on tap today, and I hope you guys I hope I did point out on my last video. I did point out some nice points. Uh, uh, Nice players that I liked. Some of them didn't. Some of them did hit, but most of the players that I did like, they probably did hit, and hopefully you all benefited from that. But anyway, jumping back into this slate, LA, Washington, LA and Washington. Washington and LA, and what do we have here as far as the totals? 218. Washington by 11. We got a couple games that Vegas said it's supposed to be blowouts, so keep that in mind. Uh, Sometimes you can tell where the masses are going, and sometimes Vegas can be misleading. So that's something that you can take advantage of by looking at the spread. A lot of people look at the spreads for different reasons. So you know, let me go to all games. Yeah, so if I start right here, all on DraftKings side, you got 3 guys, 10K and above on the slate. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about playing the slate, especially a smaller slate. You can use stacks and all types of things, whatever you feel suits yourself. So these guys, this will be the first time LA played Washington this year. Injury situations on the Lakers side of things, you'll have to keep an eye out on the Randall situation. He could change things. And there you have it. Russell, he's coming off a monster game. I'm not a big fan of the defense over there of John Wall. So, and on a condensed slate like this, you know, everybody can be in play. It's just, one pretty nice performance can separate you from a lot of people, and especially being low owned, and things like that. D'Angelo Russell, I don't mind to play. His first game back, he played a little over 30 minutes. That was last game. He played 34 minutes. He had 22 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. He produced 51 fantasy points. And that night that they played, I was not on any Lakers. And Lou Williams, he had a great game as well that last game. So, these guys, they can go off at any given time. Jordan Clarkson, Nick Young, these guys, they shoot the ball. They take a lot of the shots over there. Brandon Ingram, he's someone, he gets minutes as well. A cheaper option, GPP only. He can bust it open, barring a blowout or anything like that. Larry Nance Jr. has been getting minutes. Tariq Black, Zubac's been tearing it up. But like I said, keep an eye on Julius Randle. He'll likely cut into the minutes of Zubac and guys like that. You can even go down and look at guys like Timothy Mozgov. He has been, when he's given the minutes, he's a gentle giant. So, a dart here. He's been going up against Gortat Gortat is somebody who runs a lot of minutes, and at that around that minimum price, he's been doing well, man. A GPP flyer, you get lucky and he does something for you, and then you can separate yourself. Larry Nance Jr. Very low cost player, someone who can log 20 minutes. And uh, the way the build of the team of Washington, they have they play small ball outside of Gortat, so you got Morris running the four. At the three, you got Porter, so you can really, there's a little bit more speed to the game from a Washington standpoint. So guys like Luol Deng, they match up height wise, and with these guys, and they can match their foot speed, and then that causes for a smaller lineup. But they do keep my they do keep Gortat in there, so he's just a taller figure that he can play with the smaller lineup. Luol Deng, lately, well, uh, you know, his minutes, he's gonna play. He's probably around that 25 to 30 minute range if you get lucky, and then you know, at 3,700, he can be a fake decent GPP option as well. Uh, Tariq Black, he's someone who plays hard. Given the minutes, he can put up fancy points. You see, he played against Utah. It was a tough matchup, but against Denver, he played 18 minutes and he produced 19 fancy points, and he was 3K at the time. So, dissect these plays, man. Dissect them, because those guys can help you. On the Washington side of things, they're pretty much self-explanatory. Like I always say when I um when I cover these guys, you got John Wall, the starting five. These guys log 30 minutes plus every night, and then you got Kelly Oubre Jr. He's somebody who, the sixth man. He plays probably 25 to 30 minutes a night. And if you feel like he can get his shots up, he's a plug. He's at 3,400. Just that GPP dart that you need. He does have upside on that price tag. He's just got to get the usage. Um, John Wall, he's self-explanatory. He can explode. Bradley Beal, he can provide upside on that price tag. I don't mind the play. Uh, he's been hitting value and exceeding. But we know he can do that. He can provide upside on that price tag. Markieff Morris, he's coming in at 6,800 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel you'll get Morris at let's see, 7,500. So that's something to pay attention to. Um, his price is creeping up there, but it's a condensed slate, so you know you'll probably have to rule some price tags out. Uh, Otto Porter, he's priced around the same, 6,500 and 6,700 on FanDuel. I don't mind the play. Gortat, a very interesting play. Um, he's been tearing it up, the last 3 or 4 games. You know, he's in play definitely for sure, especially with the minutes he's been logging. So I don't mind the play. Um, Another low price option I want to take a look at here. I haven't been checking up on him, but I'd imagine he's been doing kind of all right in limited minutes. Jason Smith, you know, things could get out of hand. You never know what can happen in this game, so keep that in mind. He's someone who can hit value though in limited minutes. So I'll move over to the Atlanta and Houston game. Uh, we have totals coming in on this one at 223. Houston favored by 9. Houston will be at home. These two teams met early in the season. I do have some uh, performances on these guys. The score was 97 to 112. The Hawks won this one. Like I say, it was early in the season. This was back in November 5th. On the Rockets side of things, Ryan Anderson had 12 and 3. Ariza had 10, 3 and 3. Capella had a double-double with 10 and 12 and 10. Harden almost had a triple-double, 30, 11, and 9. And, that's about it. On the Hawks side of things, Millsap had 23, 11, and 5. Bazemore had 24 and 4. Dwight Howard had 20, 15, and 3. Schroeder had 17, 10, and 3. And that's about it for, normal noticeable performances. So as you can see, Atlanta basically did a number on them. But James Harden did play well. Now, on the Atlanta side of things, Paul Millsap is someone I do like in this one. He's coming in at 7,800, and he's 8,500 on Fanduel. Dwight Howard, someone who has been not playing, he hasn't been playing like I thought he would. He's kind of up and down, but I thought he'd be having a lot of monstrous games, but he's been around value, every game. He can exceed value, and, I don't mind the play. I like to play really, there's a narrative to go with this situation, the Houston and the Harden thing, and he wanted to be there or he didn't want to be there, so however you want to put it. He's 6,900 on DraftKings and he's 7,100 on FanDuel. I like to play against that fast-paced team. Dennis Schroeder, he'll face what's the guy's name? Patrick Beverly, but on a condensed slate, a good performance by Dennis Schroeder would definitely help you out. This 4-game slate, I wouldn't rule anybody out. We got injury to Thabo Sefolosha. I believe he's doubtful for today, so that opened up the door for Tim Hardaway. I'd like to do a quick check to see how many minutes Dunleavy got yesterday. He got 17 minutes. He put up 18 fantasy points. Just something to keep in mind. Then somebody who can hit value at a cheap cost. So he's a GPP flyer. But I'm quite sure Thabo Sefolosha is doubtful. Especially coming off a back-to-back. But keep an eye on the injury situation because he could open up a little more value. Ken Bazemore, somebody who I rarely play, who can be in play, who is in play in a up-paced game. So there you have it. I don't mind him. Tim Hardaway Jr. He'll, if Bazemore, if Sefolosha is out, Tim Hardaway will get to start again. Another player I don't mind. Cheaper option. He played 26 minutes yesterday. They actually got beat up yesterday, so they need a win. He took 9 shots. I'm quite sure he'll have probably a better game, this game. But it's just something that remains to be seen. like I say, when a team is going up against a team like Houston, the opposing team does get a bump, and you know, so I feel like he's a pretty nice play. Um, and you know, I can move over to the Houston side of things. James Harden, he's self-explanatory. He's coming in at 12.4, and on Fanduel he's priced at 12K. So there you have it. James Harden, someone who's always in play. Uh, Ryan Anderson, you know, he caught Boogie. He caught Sacramento out there on the perimeter, and he pretty much lit him up. Boogie, he don't like to get out there on that perimeter. He also had 11 rebounds. So at 5,200, you would think he could, hit value every night. You know, but he's in play, no doubt about that. Eric Gordon, uh, you know, coming off the bench. He's in play. Somebody we know he can, at least give us 25. That's what he's got to give us. We'd like to see 30, upwards of 30, especially on that price tag to show some upside. But we know he can do it. Trevor Ariza is coming in at 5,100. Interesting price tag. It looks like it's going down, and that's a good thing. Going against this team without Thabo Sefolosha, he could probably show some upside on that price tag. He's 5,300 on draft on FanDuel as well. Somebody who I really never roster. He was 5,100 last time, and he hit value last game. He hit value. But Clint Capella, he'll most likely get the start. Got the start last game, played 20 minutes. At 4,700, he shows some upside on that price tag. That's what you want. I don't mind him actually against Dwight Howard. At 4,700, he can show upside. And he's doing it in very limited minutes. He hasn't played over 22 minutes, I think. Let me go back and check that. He hasn't played, over 22 minutes in the last few, probably since he's been back. So, he's been very good in limited minutes. The center position is not. I would probably say it's not cluttered. They can use some of these guys at the 4 if needed, but they do share minutes. Sometimes when one of the guys they get left out. It's a sticky situation over there with the bigs. So but they all do provide a little something when they play. So. That's something to look out for. In limited minutes, they do. They are efficient as a committee when you're looking at Clint Capella, Montrezl Harrell, and Nene. But outside of Harden, there's just some cheaper options over here that do well. Patrick Beverly is another option that you can look at. Defensively, if he decides to be aggressive offensively, he has shown that he can show some upside, especially with the ability to get steals and things like that. Show there, I'm not afraid of his defensive abilities, but that's just. You just got to be looking forward to Patrick Beverly to being offensive minded, but Patrick Beverly can hit that three, and with that bonus in Chicago, on DraftKings, that could be of some help. Moving over to the San Antonio and Philly game. San Antonio is at home, favored by 15. Point total of 211. A lot to look out here on the injury side of things. You got keep an eye out for Embiid and Covington injury situations. So you know, those guys are a big part of what they do over here. So coming in, Gerald Henderson, somebody I want to talk about, a cheaper option. He played 24 minutes yesterday at 3,600. Did kind of all right for that price. He's someone that you can look at for cheap. Nick Starkis, he always gets up around mid, upwards of 20 minutes, but since the injuries hit, he's been going a little bit over. Um, he had 35 minutes yesterday. I would have liked to see a little bit more production on that price tag, but we know he can. He's going up against a tough. This would be a tough one. So for blowout purposes, just in case you want to be prepared and know who gets the run, just in case, just in case a team gets blowed out. So you want to weigh your options, because this 4-game slate is you got to master it. You got to master it, man. You got to have all your ducks in a row. So Jahlil Okafor, yeah, he got to start. Played 24 minutes, 18 fantasy points. He just needs to play better. Last year he was having a better year. He's not having, that good of a year this year. Sarek, I don't mind the play. He didn't play as well as people thought he would yesterday, but he did recoup. He got off to a rough start. I don't mind the play. He played 24 minutes. He might play a lot more, depending on the starting lineups and the game flow and how things go. Ilyasova, can't complain with his production. 5,800 on DraftKings. On Fanduel, he's probably similar priced at 5,700. So he had 28 fantasy points yesterday. I had him in one of my highest scoring lineups, and I can't complain. Nerlens Noel, someone who I did not roster yesterday, someone who I don't mind rostering tomorrow. If he can get the minutes, they're not a hell of a rebounding team in San Antonio, so I don't mind the minutes there. But he's got to get the minutes. I mean, it's hard to trust him for that 6K, and you don't know how many minutes he's getting. But like I said, he's not ruled out on a smaller slate like this. TJ McConnell, crazy consistent. He's been crazy consistent. Last game is probably one of one of the games he didn't go for value in quite some time. But he just had a bad game against Dallas. This is a pace down team. They like to play slow, so collectively, with the injuries and all that, it probably paid the toll and everything. But I definitely don't mind him coming in at 5,600. He's probably around the same on FanDuel as well. Excuse me, 5,900. And then on San Antonio side of the ball, excuse me, Kawhi Leonard, 9K on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he's priced up, man, at 10.1. So you can get him over here for 1,000 cheaper. He's been tearing it up. Aldridge, I like the matchup. He's definitely in play. I'll have to go into that. Um, Tony Parker, Patty Mills, and the rest of these guys, and David Lee though, somebody who I think he can get some burn. He might be. His price is going down. He's priced 5,200 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he's priced at 5,400. Some, I like the fact that his price is going down. They was getting a little outstanding with his price. He's definitely in play. Tony Parker, you know, uh, he played 25 minutes last game against OKC. Looking like, you know, the minutes aren't where you want them to be. A GPP option, if he blows up for you, then you're pretty good. Danny Green, somebody who plays anywhere from 25 to upwards, depending on the matchup and how well he's needed. Very low price at 3,800. I don't know if I'd be rostering him, but he does have a good matchup. Patty Mills, Jonathan Simmons. He played someone who had a decent fantasy output last game. I peeped that on that price tag of 3,500. He brought back 23 fantasy points, and that was nice. Manu Ginobili, just a veteran. I wouldn't imagine him getting too much run, but you never know. In a blowout, he might, but he can put up fantasy points in a hurry. Just some options, man. I mean, we got a smaller slate, so we know we need to dig into it, man. And look hard because we know who the studs are, and things like that. We just want to dig just in case. We need to know all the aspects of the game. That leads us to this guy, Bertrand. Someone who's been seeing minutes lately. Keep that in mind. Maybe if the game get out of hand, you could probably see some extra minutes, and at 3,100, there you have it, man. Just a guy who can go low owned, and it is what it is. Another cheaper option, Dwayne Dedman. What you see is what you get. He can put up fantasy points in a hurry from defense standpoint point of things. Rebounding, blocks, steals. But that's it for that game. And the last game of the night, we got the Hammer game, Golden State, LA Clippers. The Clippers will be at home this time. These two teams just met. It was just a slaughter. I don't even have to go into it. Well, the noticeable performance, I know Curry went off in that one. Let me see what he had. The score was 98 to 144. Good God. It was just a massacre. Nothing worth pointing out on the Clippers side. Blake Griffin did have 20 and 4 for whatever that's worth. But on the Warriors side, typical. Draymond Green had 5 and 5. Durant had 23, 4 and 7. Curry had 43, 9 and 6. Clay 16, 1 and 1. Iguodala 9, 5 and 6, and McAdoo 10 and 4. So when you watch these Golden State games, it's kind of important to watch them to the end. I ain't even gonna lie, most of them are blowouts, but you get a feel for who's playing in those blowouts. So let's jump into it. Now, on the Golden State side of things, Durant is just Durant. That Steph Curry, somebody, he's been he's been on fire as of late, man. He's been lighting it up, man. He's priced at 8,700. Back-to-back 60-something point performances. You know, always in play, man. You know, good God, he's always in play. Draymond Green, he's in play. So if you feel like he's not gonna give you the upside that you need, definitely don't mind if you fade him. Klay Thompson went off crazy last game. That was a sigh of relief for Klay Thompson owners. But he had a pretty nice game last game as well. So you know, I definitely don't mind the play. Interesting play here, Andre Iguodala. He's been consistent. Last night was a big time blowout. They were just blowing those guys out all night long, from the jump to from the start to the finish. So other than this one here, he's been doing terrific coming off the bench, hitting value like every game at that price tag. So 20, you want to see him get 25, and that's that. Sean Livingston is doubtful. I'm guessing Kataza Apachula is out, so that'll help you in the late night. I had JaVale McGee yesterday in about 2 or 3 lineups, man. So kind of figured he was gonna do well. I mean, he puts up fancy points in a hurry. You can see if he played 9 minutes versus Portland, and he put up 16 fantasy points. 10 minutes and put up 16 fantasy points. He played 17 minutes last night and gave you 21 fantasy points. Someone who I pointed out last game, he's still at a minimum price, so he's definitely in play. Looney, when things get out of hand, they pull him in, and just somebody who I probably wouldn't even play, but they do pull him in when things get out of hand. And then and Clark, he got some minutes. I don't know exactly what I was watching the game. I don't know exactly what he did with it, but those are just some cheap flyers. But I probably would be looking forward to JaVale McGee, especially when you got DeAndre Jordan down there. So with that being said, let's look on to the LA Clippers side of things. You got JJ Redick, Raymond Felton. If they can figure out a way to keep this game reachable at home, these guys, they do get a bump with all the shots and the shot opportunities they'll be able to get. Chris Paul, he's out of this one. Blake Griffin, someone who I absolutely loved yesterday. I told you guys he was one of my favorite plays on the slate yesterday. He did show out on that price tag, and that was awesome. Last time these two teams met, he did produce. Let me see. He had about 20 real points. So he played 23 minutes, 9 for 14, 29 fantasy points. It is what it is. He's priced on Fanduel. He's priced at 9,200. So very big price discrepancy. Fanduel wants him to be great. So you get him at a very big discount on DraftKings if you feel like you want to roster him. But on this slate, these guys, they're definitely in play. You just got to find the right one. Austin Rivers, he plays a lot of minutes, a ton of minutes at home. Uh, Hopefully he gets a boost. His price is up to 6,400. I mean, they steady upping his price, and like, come on now, he hasn't even he hasn't exceeded in a while, man. And they're steady upping his price, and it's like crazy. DeAndre Jordan, he's priced at 7,400. Um, Speaking of price, you get Rivers on Fanduel for 5,800. But anyway, yeah, against Golden State, he only played 23 minutes. Just a blowout, so we can't really base much off of that game. But it's hard for me to pinpoint, anybody who I think that can, really. Uh, that's hard, man. I just figure like, it's hard for me to even dissect this LA Clippers team right now. They're all they're all they're all options, man. Hopefully, if you do pick someone from this side, things, hopefully you get the right choice, man. So we made it through this one, and you know, thank you guys for listening. You can like, you can subscribe. My links to my Twitter at Denzel1 is in the description. My Facebook group, Fanduel group. You guys can come in. We're doing some hell of a discussions every day, all day, sharing ideas and helping each other win. Uh, I can give you guys my favorite play from each one of these games, or my favorite play or a couple. I start off with LA Lakers and the Washington game. John Wall. I love me some John Wall in this one. Gortat. Uh, I wouldn't rule out a stack. There's all types of things that can, come out with this one. It's hard to really come up with a favorite play. But we all know John Wall is so self-explanatory, man. Let's see. Mm. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. If I had to pick one, I ain't gonna lie. Probably have to just go with. I would have to just go with John Wall, man. If I had to pick one, um, don't mind Bill. I don't mind Mr. Russell. He's a ball handler, so Uh, it's Zubac. I really like Zubac at that price. It's hard on this 4-game slate, man. ATL in Houston. James Harden, obviously. Uh, I don't mind if you pair up Paul Millsap and Dwight Howard. It's probably two of my favorite plays. Philadelphia and San Antonio. Ay, ay, ay. I don't even know, really. Ilyasova is interesting if he can stretch that floor. It'll be interesting to see who Kawhi Leonard will be guarding. But I definitely like Kawhi. I mean, um, favorite though, I'll probably go out on a limb and say LaMarcus Aldridge. He might be able to do some damage. But I like Aldridge. I like Ilyasova, and this one. That's my alarm going off, so it's time for me to move around. David Lee is not a bad option either. It's hard for me to point out some favorite players on this slate. I really don't have any. So, everybody's just in play. I guess I'll say if it ain't broke, fire up Curry. I know he'll be I know he'll be high owned, given these performances and things like that. But that's about it. That's all I got for you guys today, man. If you don't like this slate, remember, always look ahead to the next slate. February 3rd slate, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games coming up. So, uh, if you want to take it light on this slate or you want to go in on this slate, it is what it is, man. But like I said, if you don't like this slate, and you can just pick it up and go to the next slate. With that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching, tuning in, and I'm out.